But I said something, and for the first time in at least 2 years, I said a statement. I said, to be fair, and I paused, and there was dead silence.
Oh,
And I went, and then continued like nothing happened because I was in shock.
that's brutal. I
I,
mean,
I don't know what to do there.
you expect one reaction, you don't get it. Like, you're let down at that point. You're just disappointed.
I know.
You're hurt.
I didn't know what to do, so I panicked.
This is the Finisher Podcast. News, views, and predictions from the world of pro wrestling. And whatever this is.
None of your commentators knew what the hell was going on! Cole said, hey, that might have been a big moment. And then you know what they did? Pissed all over it.
Welcome to the Finisher. Here are your hosts, Jerry Pickering and Dan Nawrocki.
Hey, you don't look the same either.
Well, we should be on the screen.
You're on your screen. What is going on? Believe it or not, this, in fact, is the Finisher Podcast.
There we are. OBS
And
messed up. Welcome to the Finisher Podcast. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Dan.
Nope, I was just checking, and I realized I forgot to mute all media on my phone. Nope, that's down, not up. There we go. We got this, I swear.
Been a while, hasn't it?
It's not only has it been a while, but obviously we're on a new medium. The man behind the wheels of steel over there, Jerry, is learning a different system. So yes, this is why we're live on Facebook. And Jerry, why are we live on live on YouTube, not Facebook?
We are live on YouTube because Facebook can suck a dick. Because in November, I posted a picture of
Oh,
Jeff.
he's going to the actual explanation. I
Yeah.
was just assuming we somehow got ourselves in Facebook.
I'm
jail.
going to the actual explanation because it was stupid. I posted a picture of Jeffrey Dahmer that said, "Don't tell me how many people I can have for Thanksgiving dinner." That got me blocked from going live, but they didn't do it in November. Shut up, dog. They did it in February. We went through the rest of November, December, January, and February 20-something. Like 28th or something. I can go live in 9 days. So by next weekend, or after that, I don't know, we should be able to go back live on Facebook.
Back to normal. Whenever we do it again.
Yeah.
Unintended hiatus, but we were still doing things. We were still obviously making picks, and that's why we're here. And as a matter of fact, that's why also you'll notice that we have someone else with us this time who's a little worse for wear. Still, it's been a couple weeks, but look.
Better see a doctor because taking too long to heal from that's it's an issue. You should probably have that looked at.
It's been a long recovery from the heinous, vicious attack from the champion Lisa, from her hired goon Nick. But we're getting better day by day. Just saw my specialist down in Dallas about the ribs. He said they would probably be sore for a little while longer. Recommended taping them up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to commit to all that, but the most important thing is the Podfather right here is getting better, is on the mend, and is looking forward to climbing back to the top of that mountain.
I don't know. I think Jerry just corpsed. What do we do now?
Send for the man.
Send for the fucking man. You'll be getting that opportunity, by the way, since as you'll also notice that there's only 3 slots here. There's no 4 slots. So our champion
what's up with that, by the way?
Was so intimidated by the fact that she had to turn around and once again face both of your challenges as opposed to just facing one-on-one like she had to do with Jerry back at Elimination Chamber. She apparently could only take on one challenger at a time and therefore has decided. But I do have picks mostly for her, so at least we'll be able to enter those into the record. Before we get to that, though, I'm going to need to learn to not talk with my hands with a metal bar right in front of me. We do have a couple quick things to talk about
Yes.
during the week before. Since we've been gone, the first 2 inductees into the class of 2021 for the WWE Hall of Fame have been announced.
That being Molly Holly, which is kind of cool because Hurricane was the one who got to tell her that she was being inducted. You know, Hurricane, Mighty Molly, that whole thing. And the second being, Dan, go ahead. I was going to let you take it.
I don't know why you expected to know that you were throwing it to me in the middle of a sentence. The second inductee, one Eric Bischoff, who got to hear from Corey Graves on his podcast and was visibly emotional, which is very cool.
It was actually interesting to see him get kind of choked up about it.
Right.
Molly and Shane Helms were too. I did see that clip.
Yes.
That was very good, very cool. Lots of feels.
It's cool that they're doing that they're letting those announcements be that way, since they can't necessarily do in the grand thing with everybody in the arena and such. So.
I do like they're doing that, and if you go and you look, I think a lot of the like Football Hall of Fame, they film those.
Yeah.
When they go and they ambush them and tell them that they're being inducted into Canton and the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that's kind of cool. And I was like, I wonder if they would do that, like for WWE, do that, like show up and be like, hey, we're going to put you in the Hall of Fame, or somehow do, and they are. And I think it's actually really cool and kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, because I think the best one of the last cycle, and Zach, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but didn't they when it was just this past season? Didn't they get Coach Cower on the set?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
during the pregame show
yep.
one week and on CBS. So
and Jimmy Johnson too, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. They got him on set. Yeah.
Had the cut to Troy Aikman, wiping away the tears, like not lampooning it at all. It was a cool moment.
How the hell was Jimmy Johnson not in the Hall of Fame yet?
That's a great question. I don't know for sure if it was last season or a recent season, but I do remember seeing that during the NFL Sunday broadcast is when they came out and brought the Hall of Fame. The gentleman's name I can't remember, but the lead Hall of Fame guy brought him out.
This is what happens when the two of us get into a podcast. Eventually, we're going to talk sports because that's just our nature when it comes to podcasting. We have a bit of a history. That's neither here nor there. I thought Eric Bischoff was a very cool pick. And very deservedly so. And if you think about it, this might finally be Vince bearing that axe. And now he may officially be done with. It only took him 20 some years, but now officially may be done with shitting on WCW.
The man is really good at holding grudges. I think we all know that.
Really good.
A little bit. And you had one other thing you wanted to talk about, Dan?
And one of the things to talk about, because after Wednesday night, I realized that nothing that happened the entire week in wrestling was going to matter. It was the thing that happened in wrestling that directly been talked about. It is the lights out match from AEW Dynamite, Dr. Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. I sent the group a chat and no one responded, but I sent the group a chat. I just watched this match and I am shook, and that is legitimate.
You were shooketh? I haven't got to watch it yet, but it is on my to-do watch. That and
Marvel that whole
stuff.
Card was good, but there was nothing even close to, and whether you look at just that card, whether you look at the entirety of AEW, you don't even need to put the women's qualifier on it, honestly. This is one of, if not the best match in the history of the promotion, and I don't feel like it's hyperbole to say that.
Oh no, I completely agree, Jerry. If you go back to let's really test your memory. Let's go back to another time, another place, another studio, November of 2019. After the first AEW Full Gear pay-per-view, what did I say about the unsanctioned match between Moxley and Omega?
I don't know what happened yesterday, so I'm not sure.
Okay, okay. I described that as a beautiful symphony of violence that was one of the best matches of the year at that point, and that is exactly.
And you're thinking this one is
that? No, I'm not thinking. I am telling you, it is.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Is what this is, and it's so unique is that in that it's a women's match. Obviously, we're not. It's in the U.S. We are not used to seeing women's matches.
No.
I mean, physical on a level that you would call it strong style, but in that hardcore style. It's, oh my God.
Right.
Oh my God.
And to me, the best part was like both of them understood that they wanted this to be exactly what, like you mentioned, a symphony of violence. Like Thunder Rosa wanted exactly what happened. Britt Baker wanted exactly what happened. They both could not have been more pleased with the result of this. Although part of me is kind of afraid, though, because I don't think that this really ends the program between the two of them. And you just wonder, like, what do they do for an encore?
I was going to bring up that point, is that this is actually also another great example of something that AEW has figured out and does so well that eventually maybe the WWE will catch on, is of that long-term storytelling. I mean, Thunder Rosa came in like the summer of 2020.
Yeah.
About right. And almost immediately started being screwed with by the doctor. And now, 8-9 months later, we're getting this payoff, because when you let an angle grow for that long and let it build and let it build and let it build, these are the results you could possibly get.
And that's the key, letting it build, actually nurturing it, growing it, allowing the talent to do what they do, not just letting it kind of stagnate and fester, which we may have seen a time or two from that other organization, up in Connecticut.
I mean, just a little bit. You mean how they do a pay-per-view, and then 3 weeks later do the pay-per-view, and then 3 weeks later do the biggest pay-per-view of the year, and somehow expect to be able to build a story through all of those things?
That might be it. That might be. Although I am glad that Kevin Steen is not jobbing on Fastlane, so I'm at least thrilled that that's not happening.
Now, the unfortunate part is he's also not working Fastlane, so...
Hey, potato, man.
You're not doing... Boss, look, you're getting the night off, but here's the plus side. You're not doing the job.
Is that Al Snow talking, by the way, in that
Oh, that's great.
Oh, tell you, this is the problem. And the two of us, I mean, this is what you're stuck with. Sorry.
Our apologies.
You're good.
So basically, the whole thing, unless you have a thing with blood, which is also a reason why Lisa gave it a miss, is she is not a blood person. And holy crap, Britt got to the full 1.0 Muda, that she was bleeding like Austin was back at it. Like, man, Britt went all the fuck out on this. Not only did she do this, did she get busted open, took the ladder spots, took the damn thumbtack spot.
Oh God.
And it looked like Randy after Backlash 04, just thumbtacks sticking out of her back. Obviously nothing but respect to both women, but all the props for taking all the crazy shit to Britt Baker as well. Like, if you didn't already like her in the ring, God, that's just got to put it way over the top.
I wonder if Mick Foley reached out to her after the thumbtack spot.
I have it. Fucking love it.
That says a lot right there, right?
It should tell you something. They did a behind the scenes thing after, because the match was actually taped the week before, and they did a behind the scenes video, and they go back and they've got her on the trainer's table, and they're pulling the tacks out of her, and exactly, that is the correct face. And the reaction, she goes, God, I'm pretty sure. I hope Mox's gonna be proud of that one.
Well, I think the most iconic image, and probably the one that's circulating the most on social media, is Britt with the full crimson mask, still having the wherewithal to be able to look at the camera and just flash that grin. Like, you will see that grin for years and years to come.
I think it's on a T-shirt already.
I actually, not only is it on a T-shirt, but it was also this week's #1 seller, I believe, was what the thing said at ProWrestlingTees.com.
I was waiting for Dan to say it's not only on a T-shirt, but it's on its way to my house.
No, that's.
But I bought it.
That's a bit much. But it legitimately, it's like think about. This is so weird that we're going to talk about a business where this is the thing. But think about the bloody face pictures, and the really only other one that's just as iconic, and as this one I believe will be, is that moment from WrestleMania 19 against Hogan, where Vince McMahon is just busted open and is like peeking up over the ring apron.
Over the ring, yeah.
In that maniacal face. It's that, like, I believe, like, a year from now, we're looking at it's that level of iconic. It's just that you look at it going, damn, Britt, you got some issues. And I'm here for him.
Yeah, normal people don't do that.
Don't look like that. So either way, like I said, if you have the stomach, it is not, again, it is exactly what it is. It is a bloodbath. It is violent. And hopefully actually will kind of push on maybe another push forward for women's wrestling in the U.S., realizing that, hey, you know what? The women can be just as violent as the guys, and that's okay. Let them go out there and do what they want.
Absolutely, because you have some other folks that would probably, fit in very well to that sort of style, being, Hikaru Shida is a great example. Nyla Rose is a great example. I'm curious to see if they will end up entering that mix to some degree at some point.
I would say you probably could obviously look at the other company. You could obviously get Shayna in there.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, she's used to going and legitimately beating people about the head and neck with her elbows, so I don't think she'd have a problem with amping things up in the ring. Before we go too far, let me also say I'm not also advocating for a weekly women's death match.
For sure, this has to be nuanced. It has to be, you can't go to the well.
Always done in the appropriate manner, just like Mox and Omega. That an exploding barbed, like we didn't get a chance to touch on that too. Great pay-per-view, ruined by whatever the reasoning for the lack of pyro at the end of the night was. Good attempt that they've had since to explain it, but it's still unfortunately going to be remembered for the dud of a pyro.
And truth be told, like, the one thing that people don't realize that didn't watch the match, the pyro during the actual match was actually not bad. Like the exploding table spots, the exploding bat spot especially was really well done, I thought.
That was an explosion in dude's face.
Yes.
In his face.
Perfect.
In your face.
It was just the very end. And it's so sad that one moment sullied what was a fabulous match.
But like I was saying, because of where those two were at, that made sense. Because of where Baker and Rosa were at, that made sense. So in the rare occasion where it makes the most sense for that level of animosity, it's okay to go there.
Right.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Good on that?
I mean, you don't have anything to contribute?
I haven't seen it.
I've said my piece, Zach.
I think I'm good. I think we covered it.
So we're going to do some predictions here in a second. And actually the first pay-per-view on the Peacock Network. You can still watch it on the WWE Network.
The P what?
The Peacock.
Well done. Well done.
Gonna do it every fucking time.
It'll never get old.
Nope. Until that deal's over with, I'm gonna do it every goddamn time.
So I decided I pulled up Peacock right now because the 18th I think was like the launch date, wasn't it?
Something like that.
It was this past week. Yeah.
So here I pulled up the Peacock, and there is a tab. We got featured movies, TV shows, sports, WWE, kids news, and Latino. So those are at the top of the page, and the first thing on there is Last Night on SmackDown.
Nice.
So it looks like they have like a playlist of stuff that happened on SmackDown. You've got the ad for Fastlane. You've got a bunch of originals, featured series, live and upcoming. So like their bump shows, Raw Talk, stuff like that. Pay-per-view specials. They've only got like 11 pay-per-views on there right now.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing, is that the library is going to be apparently relatively slow to migrate over.
It's gotten a lot more. I checked the 18th, and there was not this much.
Oh, wow.
So well, from the original things that they had said initially when the switchover was started, it was going to be all WrestleManias and like Elimination Chamber. And eventually they'd repopulate the whole thing.
Yeah, they're slowly, because they've got a Clash of Champions, King of the Ring.
Okay, so
they are Booker, so Invasion.
And you could look at it going, that's a lot of content to upload to servers. That could legitimately, understandably take a while.
I've got a section here that says "'Cause Stone Cold said so." I'm thinking it's a lot of the Broken Skull interviews and
Which are great.
Stone
by
Cold
the way.
matches.
If y'all
Yeah.
haven't watched any of those, like I would recommend those.
WWE. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just say if you I still haven't figured this new thing out yet. We're working on a new set. One of the things that I didn't realize is, aside from being one of the best talkers in the history of the business, Stone Cold is actually a really good interviewer.
He is.
And if they decided to do a late night talk show and give it to Stone Cold,
I'm in.
I'm there.
Sign me up.
He's
No
never.
doubt.
He'll likely never top Craig Ferguson in my mind, because he will be my late night talk show host, top of the pyramid from here on out. But
So
I mean, I'm there watching.
They've got that. They've got a WCW series and specials. So WCW Saturday Night, WCW Mayhem, WCW Hog Wild, New Blood Rising.
Oh my God! Of all the wow,
Capital.
You can leave that pay-per-view off of all future, and no one's gonna complain.
Capital Combat 90.
Why do they pick the shittiest ones to put up?
What is this one? It looks like SN. Hang on, let me hover over it. Oh, Sin. It's an I. The way the logo is. WCW Sin.
That's so good.
Do you know why? Why do we remember WCW Sin? Do you guys know why we remember WCW Sin?
I actually don't.
Sid's fucking leg.
Oh, okay. I wish I did.
That's why we remember that card.
I wish I hadn't remembered that now.
Okay, if that's bad, how about this? WCW Greed. Bunkhouse Stampede 88.
Oh.
WCW Mayhem 99. WCW Battle Bowl.
We need to get Dan some Pepto here.
Then we got some. then you have the people's picks, so it's a bunch of rock stuff, and then recently added, and then you can actually click on superstars and watch stuff from them. So that's what they got.
Cool.
And then
it was from the releases and all the information I was getting. It sounded like it was going to be a slow process. It sounds like it's moving a lot faster.
Yeah, because you got the next tab is Women of WWE, then the Attitude Era, Road to WrestleMania, No Guts, No Glory, and then shows and events.
Wait! They got episodes of Guts too. Holy shit! Why am I not in on this already?
Guts. That's a good show.
That was a good show. Memory.
Angry Craig. So all right, let's
get in our score update from Moira.
Mo.
Oh, bring that back too. All right, let's get into our predictions. Let's open up the predictions.
Let's go ahead and do this. We got apparently 7 matches to get to, and I guess there seems to be a bit of points to take. Okay. Go do your thing. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead. You're good. It's open. It's you.
Oh, look at that thing. Hey,
Yeah, look at that. I had stuff. See? Fuck you.
I can't see what you're doing.
You're all good. Let's get into our predictions. So, what?
Well, here's the first.
7 matches.
The first thing is the argument over, is this match happening or not happening? A lot of places still having Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman listed as happening tomorrow night.
As like an hour ago.
WWE does not. Wikipedia does not. And all the reports that we got from earlier this week were that the match was being canceled and likely moved to WrestleMania because A, the build-up for it has been utter dog shite, and B, it makes far more sense to do it at WrestleMania so Shane can do his yearly Dance with Death. So likely at some now here's the thing, and I would love to call this, and if I'm right, it's on tape, it's on video, this would be awesome, but I'd like to see Braun throw Shane off the pirate ship.
Yes. Which is a spot that Shane has already pitched and pleaded. It's like, please
Dad,
just this one time, and then the 30 times before it.
All you got to figure out is how to get from the ring up to the ship. That's it. Because at that point, all you got to do, there's got to be an appropriate place where you can set up a bunch of tables and crash pads and just gorilla press, boom, off the ship. Shane gets to take his yearly bump, which legitimately at this point, he's in his early 50s. This next one may kill him.
It might be the last.
It might, in fact, be his last. So we could get a murder at the Showcase of the Immortals. So as far as I can tell, I'm going with the reports that the match isn't happening. So I figure we could stick with just 7 matches on the card.
You want to skip it?
A nice odd. So there's going to be a winning record or losing record.
Okay, we'll skip it.
And once again, because I'll just go ahead and lead, since it is a three-way dance for the title, as we talked about before. Yes, I did pick Revolution because, look, the Podfather wasn't in contention for the title. No harm was done.
All right, we got to do it quick. You only got 10 minutes.
I can see that. Thank you.
Okay, I didn't know you could see it too.
Yeah. There's a thing. I can work to a clock. It's not like it's not our fucking business. And no harm, no foul. And in fact, I would have drawn the two of you, since the two of you both finished one pick behind Lisa, who retained. If I would have known that Rebel was out of the pre-show match and it was going to be Maki fucking Ito.
He's a legend.
He's got a
absolute
fucking
legend.
Ito. Would have switched my pick in a heartbeat, and we'd have all been 8-2. Unfortunately, she went back to Japan. It was just a short thing she was doing with AEW. So hopefully they'll be able to get her back, motherfuckers.
Just her singing on the ramp while like 5 other women are just like beating the tar out of each other. So great.
All right,
let's get it started.
First match
of the women's tag championships on the line is Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax defending against Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Jerry,
I'm just gonna stick with Nia and Shayna.
No title change there. And Podfather.
I've got to say the same. There's really no purpose to putting the tag belts on Bianca and Sasha literally 3 weeks before the biggest match of either of their careers.
Yeah.
Agreed. That's why there's no purpose in having this pay-per-view. But that's neither
this
here
is gonna
nor
be
there.
A recurring theme.
What did Lisa pick?
Sorry?
What did Lisa pick?
Oh, I'm sorry. Lisa Pick also had Jackson Baszler. So through. What will likely end up on your pre-show tomorrow night, Riddle defending the United States Championship against Mustafa Ali.
I got Riddle.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see why you take the belt off him. He's only had it for just under a month.
Yeah, there's no need to do it yet.
There's no need to do that.
For sure.
Riddle across the board.
Unless they do it because Retribution's pretty much
done. I mean, they were done like the day after they started. Let's be real, but
which is why you wouldn't do it. I don't know why you.
The fact that, once they called the guy Slapjack, it was done.
Well, yeah, there's that. Okay, yeah. Well, so it was done before it got started.
Lisa take Riddle as well.
Yeah, so I said Riddle across the board.
Okay.
I believe added last night Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Seth Rollins one-on-one action.
I got Rollins. Oops.
I'm going to go the opposite way, and I'm going to be sad that like this match isn't going to get the fanfare that it would have maybe 2 years ago when both men were at the height of their careers with WWE. This is going to be a great match, boys. It really is. But I think it is going to be Nakamura getting the win.
I agree with you. Put your finger on this as the possible show stealer tomorrow night, and the champion is with you, Zach, as well, to Shinsuke and Rollins. One very interesting one is we get Alexa Bliss one-on-one with the Viper. Randy Orton.
Am taking Alexa to win with the Fiend somehow, causing her to win, and then that being Orton versus the Fiend at Mania.
Exactly what Jerry said, and I am going to shout out Columbus's finest, Alexa Bliss, as well. Repping OH.
IO. Could this be any? I know. Don't even bother starting with it. It's a tough day down the 614 today. Stop threatening. Stop sending threats to the fucking team, you jackasses.
Come on, man.
And by the way, in the most obvious possible build to WrestleMania, it's Bliss across the board.
I figured.
An interesting one here, though, is Drew McIntyre goes one-on-one with Sheamus.
That was a hard one. But I wouldn't go ahead and... that was a hard one, but I'm going with Drew. I can't talk. What else is new?
Yeah, Drew, if for no other reason than that poster for Fastlane is an absolute atrocity, and he deserves a win just because of that.
Just to make up for that one?
Oh, it's so bad.
So the two of you with Drew, and the champ was Sheamus.
Interesting.
Oh.
Especially since I believe we've all seen reports that Drew McIntyre is supposedly involved in the Universe or the WWE Championship match in 3 weeks at Mania. So hey guys, there's an opportunity. Will you exploit it? The Intercontinental Championship on the line as Big E defends against Apollo Crews, the newly freshly turned heel Apollo Crews.
No. He's not a heel. They fucking reverse Kofi'd him. He started off without the accent, and now he has the accent. Where Kofi started off with the accent and then dropped the accent.
To be honest, I'm not completely sure how I'm supposed to feel about him. Actually, still not clear to me. But either way, That's your match.
So they did that the same time, Coming to America 2 came out. I don't know if there was any correlation. Or isn't that Nigeria? Or where is
Zamunda.
Zamunda. Yeah,
I couldn't remember.
Right.
I haven't watched the first one in so long, and I haven't watched the second one yet.
Great. I want to point this out real quick, because I know we're speaking of time, but
Yeah, 5
Zach
minutes.
picked up the movie trivia.
Aren't you just thrilled?
Zach
Of all
don't
people.
watch. He watches no movies.
And I did actually see the first Coming to America too.
Oh, it is
not the second one. Yeah,
good.
was
I haven't
awesome.
either. No, I haven't seen that one. But I am impressed and taken aback. All the props to you. You get 42 points to Zach. Now, who you're picking for the Intercontinental Championship?
It's going to be a title change, guys. It has to be a title change. You don't build Apollo, like Jerry said, with the heel turn, the accent thing. You don't build all that up just to have him job to Big E. This is going to be another great match too. But yeah, Apollo is going to take down the IC title.
I think you're right. In one, but I don't think it's going to change yet. I think it's going to go for a little more. It may change at Mania, but I don't think it's going to change here.
Okay.
I think this is the first title match. I think they're gonna keep it on E for just a little while longer, and kind of build this more and get it more heated. So I'm going with Big E.
I'd be happy with them going at it twice in a 3-week period, because they're going to tear the house down.
So Zach is the contradictory one going with the title change here. And then, of course, what's likely going to be your main event, the Universal Championship up for grabs. Roman Reigns defending against Daniel Bryan.
I've already put Roman across the boards. I'm pretty sure.
I kind of figured as much.
Yep. That was an easy one.
Now,
you said Lisa had Big E on that one?
Yes. I did not watch. I get a chance to watch last night because I was working. But who is the special enforcer for that match?
It's going to be Edge, my friend.
Yeah. So let's just call this the obvious pay-per-view for the big hits.
True.
Yeah, pretty much.
We do have some areas. We do have. Everyone has got at least one pick separate. So this could either be a very interesting title change, just 3 weeks from the biggest show of the year, or, and for knowing us, is most likely a gigantic clusterfuck that is going to do nothing but to say. Now, if my memory serves me correct, Jerry, as well, does Lisa not already have 2 draws on her?
She has defenses? 2 draws. So if Lisa were to draw
if there is a tie,
on this one,
if there is a tie tomorrow night, the Finisher Predictions Championship will go up for grabs at the showcase of the Immortals. Think about that.
We're better.
Think about that.
And speaking of Immortals, the host of WrestleMania, because
do we have to?
Why not? The host.
That's right. Titus O'Neil will be your host for WrestleMania 37, and then he's got some old guy who I think he has to talk to.
This is why I came on the show. For moments like that. Some mid-Carter and Titus O'Neil will be hosting WrestleMania.
Some guy who had a run like in the 80s or something. I don't know.
He had the hair and.
No, he didn't.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
He had the skullet.
El pattern baldness is a motherfucker.
Yeah, dude has had a skullet since 1978. That is neither here nor there. All that's left to say is obviously we're getting back to it, so make sure you are following us on the Facebook page, which we never stopped posting to. We never did stop posting to. You can still get all your updates for that on the Facebook page.
The link to this got posted to it, so
there you go. So you already know that. In fact, there should be many other places that you can follow us, and we're trying to get more active with. And if you do, I thought I had it up and ready to go, but I do not. Just head over to thefinisherpodcast.com. Right there, it's
scrolling just across the bottom.
There you go. Do that, and then it'll tell you where to find us. And pretty soon, it'll have the next edition of my WrestleMania match guides, because at least thankfully, with Mania being up, I'm able to watch all those again.
Perfect. All right, we got 1 minute. Thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you check out our Facebook, facebook.com/thefinisherpodcast. I know, but we got to go.
I can see that. They can't. Actually, I think they can.
Yeah, they can.
No, yeah.
So thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next week right here on the Facebook page. Somehow, some way, we'll be here. And you'll find out who the winner is of the predictions for the Fastlane pay-per-view. We'll see you guys. Have a good one.
Peace.
What was that?